everybody. Welcome back to Akos Musings. Here we meet about issues of life and then we make constructive adjustments moving forward based on the conclusions we come to. Today, we have a topic that we want to discuss actually, and I think it pertains to Nkobebre. And with me to do the discussion, I have Rachel. I've already done the intro, previous video, so you can go and check. And then we have Harriet. She says I should call her Harriet, so, or you can call her Harriet, whichever way. And we're here to discuss something very, 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 to me, serious. And it is total disclosure before marriage. You see, before people settle down, I mean, everybody has a past, everybody. So before you settle down with your significant other, usually you are either tempted to tell them everything about your past or not. And sometimes if you don't tell them, they spring up in marriage and they become issues. And so people say you should discuss, you should totally disclose everything. Others say you should not disclose everything. And so today, with my powerful panel members, we are going to do the discussion. And so, Aunt Harriet, Mami, me pacho, is it important to disclose your past to your spouse before you get married?
Okay. I'll say yes and no. Okay. And I'll start with the no.
Okay.
With the no, there are some things that, based on where the relationship has grown to, you may have to disclose those things to the person, especially if you have made that commitment that you are going to get married. But if it is a new relationship that you have started, and even though, I mean, because almost everybody who enters into a relationship is entering into it because they want to finally maybe be with the person or get married. But at the initial stage of the relationship, or when you are not settled that that person is going to be your partner, or you don't know the mind of that person concerning the relationship, I wouldn't say that you should disclose it. You should disclose everything, because there are certain things that, you know, if the person, you end up not being with the person, it may affect even the relationship or how the person sees you. Okay. Or, you know, in terms of can you trust the person with that kind of secrets that you are disclosing to. So you need to be very careful. But when you decide that you are going to get married to the person and the families have come in, then it is obligatory that you disclose everything. I mean, as far, yes, you disclose everything as far as it's going to affect the relationship.
Okay, as far as it's going to affect
the relationship. But it's funny because, but you know that everything about you affects the relationship.
Absolutely.
Everything. Whether it is because the person is going to marry your past, your present, and your future. So if there is anything in your past that the person needs to know, I wouldn't say needs to know, because the person needs to know, you see. Because at the end of the day, it may affect the relationship. So yes, at that point, then I think that
at the point where you're about to marry.
About to. I would say about to. Or when you have fully committed, both of you, fully committed, that you know that this is where we are going. Other people have come in, we've made the commitment, the families know, and we are discussing children, we are discussing future together, we are discussing things that, then at that point, I believe that you have to disclose.
Okay, so Harriet says, at the point where there's sure commitment, then you have to disclose. Yeah. Okay. Auntie Rachel, please, what's your take on the issue too?
Thank you. Well, I also believe that if it has not become very necessary for whatever issue it is to be disclosed before the marriage, I don't think it should be disclosed, because there are some of the disclosure, if you are not very careful, it may affect the relationship unnecessarily. For instance, if you tell your partner that you had a relationship with someone whom he may not even know, okay, maybe you had an affair with the person.
By affair, you mean sexual relations?
Yes, sexual relations.
Okay.
Yes. So if you had a sexual relationship with that person, which your partner may not even know him, and it may not even have any effect on the relationship, why do you tell your partner about it?
Oh, but sometimes
and this
sometimes they want to know. They call it body count. They would ask you jokingly, how much is your body count and all that. That one too.
Oh really?
No. Oh yeah. Knowing full well that you had this number, do you still say, oh no, I won't?
Well, me personally, I believe that if it has not become very necessary for you to say it, okay, there is no point in saying it, because it may affect the relationship unnecessarily. Because telling your partner that you had an affair with someone, now you see he starts to think, okay, so apart from this one, who else have you had, you know, that kind of relationship with? And then he starts having some kind of things about you which will not be too healthy. Okay, so it is better for some of the secrets you don't need to share if it has not become so necessary. For instance, if you had an abortion, okay, you can disclose to your partner if it has become necessary that he knows, okay, but you don't get up and tell him that I've had an abortion.
Because it's actually a question somebody brought. She said she has had an abortion. I had an abortion. Should I tell my prospective spouse about it? For whatever reason, she's feeling guilty. I don't know. But she feels should she tell?
Well, I feel that at a point before marriage, when you guys have not decided whether, I mean, if there are no, having baby issues, okay, if you don't have issues with childbirth, there is no point in disclosing this. Unless maybe at a point, the doctor have said that, oh, this is the reason why you are not having the baby. Then at that point, you can say that, oh, it could be this. Okay? But I don't think it is necessary for you to tell your partner before the marriage that I had an abortion. What if he decides to let the relationship go? Meanwhile, it will not have any effect on your it will not have any effect on the marriage.
So you are thinking you shouldn't say it because it might not
it has not come up. I mean, nothing has made it so necessary for it to be told. And so if you say it and oh, okay, because my partner have had an abortion, it could be that she will have to, because there are people who have never had an abortion, but they still can't have babies. Okay, so what happens to that? So I think that if it has not become so necessary, there's no point in disclosing some secrets.
Auntie, here, wonderful. It has not become so, even with an abortion, it has not become so necessary. Don't disclose it.
Yes.
Auntie, here, what's your take on it? Or say, why you abortion that on can say monka?
Before you say I do, that journey is so long and is so fragile that you will never know what will lead to any issues in the marriage. It will haunt me forever, and it will break the trust relationship. Some of the questions that I'll ask myself: what else have you done that I don't know? Is it possible that you have even children with other women that I don't know? But if this information was given to me by himself before marriage, I may have been unhappy about it, but he has told me the truth. And based on that, I trust him. So if anyone comes with that information, I know it already. And I have a story that a lady had an abortion, and this is a true story. A lady had an abortion, and during the abortion, her liver, it's either an abortion or a surgery. Whatever she did, her womb was removed. She went ahead and married this man. This man was a very important person in the church. Okay, I think that in the church that he attends, he was, let's say, a presbyter. So he held an important position. So they married. First year, second year, third year, they were trying for the fruit of the womb. The thing wasn't coming. And finally, when they did one doctor told the husband, why you, don't you know? I say, what don't I do? Your wife don't have a womb, so how are you expecting to have a child?
Wow.
It was then that the lady started crying. The same fear that drew her not to tell, that if I tell him, what will he say? Maybe he will not marry me. But then you are marrying someone based on deception, because you have not disclosed your total being. Love is based, the person should know everything about you and say that despite all this, I love you. Despite all this, I want to settle down with you.
Absolutely.
There are no shocks. This man, children were important for him. I mean, it was so important. So this is what he did. He couldn't divorce the wife because it was the wedded wife and he didn't want to go through all these things. He married another woman. As we speak, I know they had 4 kids. He had 4 kids with the woman. But, you know, you put the man in a situation where he has to do this, something like this. And the kind of things that they had to go through, even with the second woman, the conditions that she gave before she accepted to be a second wife. Right? So you put the man, you know, because in the church, the man couldn't do the things he used to do in the church because the church didn't agree that he took a second wife. So he was going to church, all right, but as just a member. Okay. So if this thing had been addressed from the beginning, if he had told the man that, okay, this is my situation, I love you, whatever it is, but this is my situation. And the man says that I agree with you, I will marry you, I agree with you, we will adopt or whatever thing, maybe surrogate women are there, you plan from the beginning. There are no shocks. So to avoid distrust in marriages, I mean, even affairs, I'm not saying that if you've had affairs in the past, go and give your husband the details
of
that the man was dark and he was tall and oh my God, his muscles. When I look at him, I couldn't sleep. Of course, that is not wise. But he has to know that as you are coming there, you are coming with your baggage. You are not a virgin. Absolutely. If you are not a virgin, it means that you've done the thing before. So you let him know, oh, I've had some affairs in the past. I believe that the Holy Spirit will also give you wisdom. Okay. I'm not saying that embellish the truth. No. You tell him, but not in a way that is going to hurt the relationship. You don't sit the person down as if say, oh, bonekutia. Hey, oh God, that guy that I went out with, the money, you know. Or best spreading me. No, yesterday we used to go here, we will go to this place and you go. And the man will be looking at you and will be wondering, so why are you with me? Are you with me also? Yeah. But if you come out in terms of, oh, even before I knew Christ, or whilst I was in the Lord, I mean, there were things I didn't understand. It made me do some things in the past that I'm not proud of, but it's in my past, you know. And of course, the relationship that you have been with, if you have kept it holy, you have kept it pure, and you have been faithful in it, it will be easy for him to accept your past. But if there are things you are doing that he himself is not settled with, or she herself is not settled with, and you are telling him or her things that even makes her more unsettled, then of course.
So I know a lady before on a boyfriend, the fiancé, she had multiple. Like it was the guy is a good guy. Until also said when she says that you will leave. And I want can no more worry. Na emba and no come lady be say on the mompire. To my bompire. Now when the lady na in the bompire and say, while they were praying, she will let the lady out here and she was sleeping. She was sleeping. No, it's madam, but why? I say, oh madam. Forget on. Forget to press now. They may say yes. So how are they going to break this news to the man? The man thinks that when you're a good girl. The lady was like, oh, so say, Papa Nbejan, so Papa Nbejan. Until should your fear stop you from disclosing everything about you, very pertinent to the relationship?
And they are working. Even what makes it, you have broken the covenant. You have broken covenant now. You see, Our Ebusa said, do you know anything? Anything, no. Anything that should prevent you. It means that secrets are so important, say, I sorry them honor. They are giving you the chance
to spill them out.
When you confess doesn't mean the person will leave you.
But mostly it's changes the balance.
Yes, of course. When somebody hears something, you know, it destabilizes the person for a while. But if the person is committed to who you are, especially your newbie, and if you have genuinely repentant from your act, this lady, I didn't see any repentance in her. Because God was able to give her a new child. If she had truly repented and cried on the Lord, this is what I have done. The Lord would have even told her, go and confess to your husband first. Knowing all this you go through, and a lot of people hold things in their hearts, hold things in their mind, and they laugh and go through the ceremony because they don't want people to tag them, you are single, or you got into a certain age and you are not married, or the person has become a breadwinner for you and you don't want the person to go. So you punish the person. Yes, it's punishment. Punishment because you know that when the covenant is made in Christendom, you can't break it.
Wow. So
it's going to be difficult for the person just to walk out. Just like when you put two things together, when you break it, it hurts each other. So even if they break, it's going to hurt both of them.
Wow. And
knowing all this, you still went ahead, look at the person eyeball to eyeball, and said, I know nothing. Nothing.
At all.
At all. Everything is perfect. In fact, I've had amnesia of nothing. And you tell yourself and you convince yourself. And sometimes even the Holy Spirit prompts us. This thing, just talk about it. You know, the thing is, if the person, your spouse found out in the marriage, it's difficult for the spouse to forgive you than if it was before. There are spouses who are living as spouses, but living their separate lives because of some of these secrets. Someone finds out about something. The person is so hurt that I won't let you go because I can't break the marriage. But Pa said we are going to have a relationship. No. And they are there. So it's important. I mean, if you've forgotten, start making notes. You have to sit down as you are discussing about how many children are we going to have? How many houses are we going to build? Where are we going to live? All those things, as you are planning.
Plan the others.
Sweetheart, there is one thing that I think that you should know. Or there are a few things that I think that we have to discuss. Maybe you should even start. Have you been with somebody, you know? Oh, no, I've not been. Oh, when I was in the world. That one cried. The Bible says that if you are in Christ, you are new.
All things are
past. So you are talking about somebody your past. Is that not you? You know, and you know how to go around the person that you end there. Defe nicely, sweet. No, they sukra kakra, asase kakra, krokro kakra. Then at the end of the day, what poor now?
Absolutely.
Take it and then you know, and that time you know, and be good in the relationship. Mani pano, who say you are an ideal person for him to become married to.
That's okay.
It doesn't matter. You are so for my mini, I saw for no more. It be a prostitution so many years. Nyame na madom so adom wom enso de wom ye adwuma. Bible says that if you are in Christ you are a new creation. Don't be afraid because fear can wipe everything. And Bible says that perfect love cuts out of fear.
Absolutely.
Enti say
ehun nti dia.
Ehun na enti na wo sro na say sro enti na wo ya dia. Now what can say me catch na maybe something will happen now.
It will still happen.
It will still happen when you are in.
Absolutely.
Job said it. Job said that the thing that he fears most because Job will wake up and he will pray, hey, maybe my children have sinned, maybe I have done this. He was always conscious, even though it was a good thing, but he was afraid that somebody would do something and he will not get to know, and something calamity will come to him. He did all the sacrifices, but the calamity came anyway.
Absolutely.
So don't be afraid, especially before you say I do. And if you are in marriage and you have not their secrets, I think that it's time for you to come out. Because somebody,
well, absolutely tell it.
Somebody, you don't know that day. You meet in the group and a gentleman comes, oh, I used to.
Yeah.
I used to. There is one. There was this guy who they went for a funeral. And then that time he's not a pastor. The person I'm talking about, he's not a pastor. Look at all the things So he said that the lady he was with, he gave them a place to sleep, and then he was on the bed, and then the lady was on the floor. He said by the time he realized, he was also on the floor.
Yes, it's normal.
And that it was a one-off thing that they did, and it's haunted him. It's haunted. So one day, after so many years, he went to visit a friend, and then when they opened the door,
it was the lady.
It was the lady. Apparently, the husband that now he's living with is the lady's husband, the lady that he did that with. So he went to the friend and then, bring your wife. The wife is the person that they. And if in conversation, if maybe this friend had told the husband, oh Charlie, there was a time that I did this and this and this and this. And
you understand?
So please come out, say the things that you need to say. If he leaves you because of that,
good enough.
There's another man or another woman who will just love you the way you are.
If he leaves you because of that, it's good for you.
Yes.
It's good for you. Auntie Rachel, what do you have to say to it too? Boyechi.
All right. And I'm also in support with what Harriet said. However, I still stand by the fact that there are some secrets which should not be disclosed because it may not be necessary. You say, example is what or catch. I mean about the last example she gave. Yes. So I say on country ni kunu dada about the gentleman, and ka enye so embarrassing. Say be a ni kunu nehu no. So because it will not cause anything to the marriage. Wow. Oh, ebi oya dan for me nimu no. Because they are nipa no esuye nyina. Obi wonu ma asem na obe ka che no no. Say ohia nipa no kra na the attitude. Absolutely. Say you obe ye. Bo say na asaya but so onimu a. Yes say dey say wonnimu a enye tan. Absolutely. So wonnimu a enye tan. And I make an unless say it has become so necessary say e was say work. There are certain secrets in relationships to me hide it, and you shouldn't hide it because then it becomes wickedness. You know, like say why you abortion be penya. Who say abortion ya me ye. Abortion ya me ye. And you might be cause me sure say it could have some problems with me. Then you need to disclose before the marriage. Ebi kra na uwoba. You can't hide that. For how long can you hide it? And for such any day, you should be able to disclose. Okay. But if you telling about me name crofobia 5 said na me microphone said na ya na scan senior. I mean some of these things you don't need to talk about them. Okay. So unless it has become very necessary say but Ekoba say if you discuss it with the person, and you also need to know the kind of man or relationship you are in. So there are certain relationship who the kind of person you are in with. You know what kind of information to give because some of the information you give, it will just destroy the relationship. Meanwhile, if you had not given that information, I mean, the marriage would have been intact.
That's a serious point. Seriously.
That would have been very intact. But that's just because you gave that information,
that's a serious point.
But and also
I mean, it's profound.
Yes,
it's profound. I say, you know the person you are with.
Yes.
You know, says that same way. The way I'm in Kasan, this particular way can a bit much can I be saying? And he said, ha, relationship so much.
So much.
You are talking about this time you are in a relationship.
Now, be warrior.
Oh, bad worry.
But
I
only for chrono.
So a question is, how do you determine what information is important and which ones are not?
Well,
because there are people who can't trust your woman. That is it.
No, so one intro. You are just not disclosing it. One intro.
Withholding of information is just like lying. And then
baby, it cannot be Harriet. You know, the encomobi or honomoa, met to me Katie, but meant to me Wendy. So what you say? My husband, in Comobi or honomoa, met to me Nedi. There are some in Comobi or Menini because of the kind of person I know him to be. So what you say? And it's Sammy Huni say, Sam Comowe, Menini dinner say, me catch you and say, a behano. Meanwhile, it will not have any significant influence on the marriage. Why do I discuss it?
We are saying so you say secrets.
Total disclosure of secrets.
Total disclosure of secrets. You can't secret too.
Exactly.
Idea about affecting my marriage. Information as I say, send it there. What life man can't show baby I'm in school. And I say baby mommy will walk up in time away you wabra. Some brana wa boy and I'm sorry me call her me say me we no. And no and ye baby a be affect my marriage. Now where ye can information and a secret.
It has the potential to explode.
Yes.
It also
it has the potential to destroy the marriage. Then why not? But there are some of the secrets. It doesn't. They are secret though, but it will not have any influence on the marriage. So it will not have any bad influence on the marriage.
So influence
like somebody you've had an affair with. One for example, ya omaye. Senka one can say oh. And so okay. Power wakacha ne dada. Wakacha ne dada. No can't. And so who would have said
but Rachel, they are in command mo betimi edi a. Nipa no nya na adwen se o ka kire no. Me nya ma adwen se me ka bibi a kire. Na in command no na something comes up. So when you crowd back and no adwen about so
no na be necessary say we ka.
You see you can't manage the information.
But obeso on ma wo ka kire no at that point no. E bia nkomodi oh me ni we kra akwa da pe yo. Me ni we nso e da yo. Then any oba
say media me stand in you. If you've had affairs in the past, let your spouse know. We are not saying say go and mention the names. Make a list of I saw the people men I join mentor way 10 people and
but
then,
at least we know say you've done this.
You're virgin, fine.
Okay. That is what
but the
you are not.
But the
details
that is what I said from the beginning. Say, you are not. You do all these things with wisdom.
Okay.
You do it with wisdom. You are not, and I made a point. Say you are not going to say hey, me share Bema way. And he was tall, he was dark, and he could do this thing for me. And the way I used to do this. Oh, in your no, that is not. You are not wise. But in the same way, you should let him know. Say he's not the first person you are going to be with.
Yeah.
So that in case in future somebody say, oh, your wife was my ex, or I had something to do with your wife again. The man knows that we've already told him, say, you had done something like that in the past.
Let me also chip in. If you're able to disclose that, sometimes it gives you peace of mind. Because they can use your past to blackmail you. People can use your past to blackmail you. To be on the safer side. Let them know. Especially say, wow, can I do it? Yeah. It is explosive. But let them know they may even protect you. Guy be on next also like na lead next friend who knows the basic so catch you.
Please, but then there is one thing that I need to say. In Luke 12 verse 2, it says that nothing is covered up that will not be revealed.
Absolutely.
Or hidden that will not be known.
Absolutely.
So that is what the Bible is telling us. If you think the best way you can cover up, remember that a secret is not only for you. There is always somebody involved.
Absolutely.
And the time that the secret may come up may be a bad time for you.
Yes, yes.
So for me, I think that with wisdom, reveal.
Absolutely.
And pray before you do it. Even you have to fast and pray. Pray, God, touch this matter, touch this matter.
In my disclosure.
That is that.
Yes.
I love
In fact, I think it's very necessary
Absolutely.
to pray.
Yes.
Especially when you want to disclose certain
Before
information.
they give
You need to
letter.
pray, and the Holy Spirit will give you utterance
Absolutely.
in what to
Wisdom.
say, because there are some of them they are bomb, because once it comes out, you know, say a problem now. Yes, there are things that will not let the person stay. Yes.
Wow. Wow, this has been an interesting exposure. I hope, say, as you've listened, you take key points out of this. You disclose information that have the potential to mar your relationship.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it's best to have a broken engagement than a broken marriage, actually. And then also, if you have to disclose to, please pray. Because it can get some way, I tell you. It can get some way. So thank you very much for watching. This has been Akos Musings. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Press the bell notification icon and then like and share. And if it got you that much, comment down and let's get interactive. See you next time. Same place. Bye-bye.
Bye.